Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to make another fun fold. It's not really a fun fold, it's maybe more of a technique. It's called a triangle card. I'm doing a lot of triangles this month. So this is very, very simple, and this we're going to make a Christmas card next. I made two cards kind of at once, depending on what papers you use. So you're just cutting your paper into triangles and then placing it and alternating it. So this is Hope Your Birthday is Wonderful, sending lots of love. I did the same thing. This one has pumpkin pie and this is garden green, so I pulled those out of the paper. So this is what I used. I used the To Market paper. This would be a perfect one if you just wanted to make one card, that you could have this side as well as this side. I didn't really care for the other side of this for the background. I mean, it would be okay. So that's why I used two pieces. But if you have a piece that works on both sides, go for it. And then I used the Hooray for Surprises for my sentiments. And then the, what is it? Something Fancy dies. This has great, I use this all the time. It has great kind of layering dies. So you can do different sizes and layer them on top of each other. So that's what I use for these cards. We're going to make something using some Christmas product, and this is from the online exclusives. So I will be using, this paper is so pretty, I love it. It's got gold in it, and let me get the name of it, Seasons of Green and Gold. And the paper is just gorgeous. We're going to use this one as well as this one. But look at how pretty. And these you can die cut. So I love this paper. I think I may use this for my Christmas Stampa set. I have to figure that out. And we'll be using the Greetings of the Season stamp set, and then there's dies. These are all tag dies. They're really cool. So we'll use that for the sentiment. And I have my pieces partially cut, and we're kind of, oops, this is a something else. We're going to play. So let's get, I have a garden green card base and a mossy meadow card base, and those are in the pattern. So if you don't know this, when you look at your designer series paper, it tells you this is garden green, mossy meadow, old olive, pecan pie, very vanilla, and gold. So those are the colors you can use. And I know it says very vanilla. It doesn't really, maybe I should use very vanilla. I feel like it was white when I was looking another light. I'm going to stick with the white. It's hard to tell, but I'm going to stick with the white. So I have my white backgrounds. I also have a gold one. So we're going to kind of play and figure it out. So you're going to cut your pieces, and I have extra pieces here because I just wanted to give you a hint. These are, so you cut, if you're using both sides, like if I were to just use this and use both sides, I would just use one sheet. I want to mix it and have this and this. So I'm cutting both sheets, and these are 3 3/4 by 5. And I just wanted to tell you, when I cut my paper, I cut it at 4 because most of the times my layers are 4. So I'll cut it down at 4, and then I'll cut it at 5 going this way, and then I'll cut off that little 1/4 of an inch so that I'm not making my whole long strip. So if I was cutting this, I don't want to cut this whole thing at 3 3/4 because I might want to use it at 4, and then I've kind of ruined it. So I'll cut the whole thing at 4, and then I'll do my 5 or 5 1/4, whatever I wanted, and then I'll trim it down. And this way, when I use my inside layer, this is 4, and this is 4. Now, if I had cut it at 3 3/4, it would be too short for my inside layer. So I just wanted to give you that as kind of a tip or something I do anyway. So these are our pieces, 3 3/4 by 5. And if you are making your card this way, horizontally, which you could do, you want to make sure your pattern that it's cut to go this way. So determine which direction your card is going in and make sure you're cutting your paper. So if I was going this way, I would make this, I would cut it the other way. So I'd make this side 5, and then this side 3 3/4. I hope that makes sense. This doesn't matter. And again, you can use, you could use this side, and I'll show you once I cut it. So we're going to lay them on top of each other and get out our trimmer, and we're just going to cut it in half diagonally. So we just want to get our point up here and our point down here. And I don't like to start at my point. I've heard people tape it down, do different things. I just won't start at the point. I'll start off the point and then come back down, because sometimes it just makes your point a little funny. I'm going to try to keep it together. And the reason we're doing these as one cut is you want your pieces to all be the same so they fit together nicely. So try to get this together. And if it's off a little bit, it's not a problem, because when you put, if the center where they all meet is off, you're covering it, so not a real problem. So let's just make sure this lines up nicely and the points are in the middle, or in the groove of this. Okay, and again, I'm going to start off a little bit, go up and come down. Okay, so now you have your pieces. So this would be a great technique to use for Christmas cards, because again, you get 2 for the price of 1 in a way, if you use 2 different papers. So now what we're going to do is get a white, I used white on this, we're going to try gold and white, a white layer, and this is 4 1/4 by 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to lay our pieces, and so this is going this way. I have it upside down, but that's okay. And then we'll put this over here and this over here. And you're just going to lay out all your pieces so that they are in the right place and you get the pattern that you want. Isn't that pretty? So I thought we would try the gold and see how that looks. I'm going to step 1 up and make 1 more plain, so you can decide which way you want to go. Okay, and then 1 will go on the mossy meadow and 1 will go on the green. So let's put these down with some adhesive. So you kind of want to get them in place. You're going to have a border around all of it. Okay. So let's just start putting the adhesive. I'm using my liquid glue. That's what I like to use. You can use whatever adhesive you like. And we're just going to put it all over. And just this paper is just so pretty. So the first piece, you kind of want to make sure it's straight and the border is kind of the top and the bottom as best you can. If you're off a little bit, I don't think anybody notices but us, right? They just love receiving handmade cards. So we're just going to put these down. And again, if the middle is off a little bit, we're covering up, so no sweat. So put this one down. It's been raining here like crazy. I don't know if it's Debbie. I'm in eastern Pennsylvania. We're supposed to get it. It's supposed to rain heavy today, but it's not. It's just light, which I'm glad, because they, I don't have a front lawn or a back lawn. I've been here a year and I'm still waiting for it. But they did that hydro seed. They sprayed it on Friday or Thursday, I think. And I'm thinking, oh, is the rain going to wash it all away? I know it kind of holds the water, and I don't think this is the time of year to be planting grass, but what do I know? So I'm just worried it's going to wash away if it's too heavy. So we can do this and this. So see how the greens kind of pick up? So we'll make that decision after we do the gold. Now with the gold, you want to try not to get glue, if you're using liquid glue, on the gold, because it kind of makes it funny. So try your placement to be right on. from the get-go as best you can. So which one are you liking best? We'll see how it all finishes. I think we'll do some gold embossing on the gold one. We're gonna like really gold it up for the Olympics, right? Have you been watching the Olympics? It's amazing. I was watching the I call it synchronized swimming. I don't think that's what they call it anymore. And I'm just totally amazed how long they can hold their breath underwater and be perfectly timed with each other. Just amazing. So this one is off a little bit, but I think it's okay. And then last night was the track and field. We did amazing. I just in awe of these athletes, how dedicated they are. And the gymnastics, I mean, all of it. I didn't see the breakdancing. I heard there's breakdancing. I don't know if that's been on yet, but I'm eager to see that. I think that'll be really cool. So I think I'll do the gold with that mossy meadow. Okay, so what do you think so far? Now the other thing I was doing, where are they? I thought I would heat emboss the sentiment on the one with the gold. I kind of like these tags this way, but I feel like the sentiments are going this way, so we're going to do it this way. And I could heat emboss both of them, but I wanted to get the white in here, so I think this one we're just going to go plain, and this one we're going to make fancy. So let's get, first off, let's do the heat embossing one. And I have from the stamp set, I'm doing the Merry and Christmas. So I have those mounted somewhere here. And what I like to do is if I have two words, you can put them on one block, but I usually do them separate, and I try to do the longest word first. Right? So let me get my embossing buddy. So this just keeps the static away and helps your Versamark ink and then the powder stay on the Versamark ink. So we're just going to stamp in Versamark. And this is Christmas. So we'll put this down here. I'm eyeballing it. And this gives you a watermark. So if you do it on white, you're not going to see it, but this will help me line up the Merry. That's why I didn't want to do it on white. I'm cheating a little bit. So, whoops. And then we want the Merry. I'm trying to keep it away from some of the letters on there. Let's see how this works. It's a little tight. That works. Okay, so now what we'll do is get our embossing powder. And this is a whole kit you can get with the it comes with the brush, the embossing buddy, and then these. So let's get our embossing powder on here. And you could pour it right in here and then pour it out from here. Okay, so that looks good. And we're just going to put this cap on, and I'll clean it up later. Put that aside, get my heat tool out of reach. So what I'll do is I'm going to hold it with the tweezers, and we'll just heat it up. It's going to be a little loud, so I won't talk, and maybe I'll mute it. So I'm going to turn this on just to warm it up in a sec. No matter how many times I see this, I'm so amazed at how cool it is. See that? So it melts the powder wherever you stamped. So this one is going to go on here. I feel like it might be lost a little bit. What do you think? Let's do it on here as well. I was going to stamp this in a color, but I think that it will work. So let's just repeat, rinse and repeat here, only on the white. Let's see how that looks. Oops, the glue's not going to help me. I feel like it's pretty. I just feel like it's very dark. So we're going to do Christmas. Now we're going to have to guess. I can see it. I don't think you can see it, but it's very light. So we'll do the Merry. I could emboss it and then come back and do this, but I'm going to guess at it. And we'll see how it looks. So let's get this out and pour this powder over it again. And this powder will last you forever. See, so now I have a little bit up here, so I'll just get my, you could use a paintbrush if you don't have this, because what will happen is it will melt and you'll have little specks. Okay, so that looks good. Let's try this on the white and see which way we're going with it. And try not to touch this until you heat it. And the way you know it's done is it's shiny. If there's still parts that are not shiny, that means it's not done yet, okay? So I kind of like it on the white. Yeah, I feel like it's getting lost in here. So I'm going to cut another white, and we're going to do it on the white on both of them. So let me just step away and do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I did the whole thing. Same thing that I did here. So I think that's nicer. I like it better. I mean, this is beautiful, but I just feel like it's a little lost. I like it jumping out at me. So now we can put this together. And which do you like better, the gold or the white, by the way? Let me know in a comment. So let's get our glue, and we'll just put this right on the card front. So again, easy card, and you could absolutely use these to make, you know, your Christmas cards if you have to do a lot of Christmas cards. I think you can get, you know, 2 at a time and just work through them. And play around with the different patterns. I kind of like a dark and a light together, which I did on these as well. Not that this is light, but just, you know, like a little bit of a contrast. Okay, and let's put these on with dimensionals. So just go 2 at a time here. 1, 2. I was just down in Florida for a week, so I'm trying to catch up on everything. I had my videos made for while I was away, but now I'm back in action here. It was my mom's birthday. If you follow my newsletter, you knew she turned 93, and we had all the kids, the grandkids, the great-grandkids. It was really nice. We had a wonderful time. It was great to see her. She's very, very good physically, mentally. She's got all her wits about her, and I think she loved having everybody. We went to the beach one day, and then she has a pool. So the kids had a blast. And then my kids and my sister kids, hers are in California, mine are in New York. They don't get to see each other very often. So they got to hang out together. So it was very nice. All right, so now we need a little bit of bling. So on the on these cards, I dug out, you know, when I don't know what colors to use, I always search on the color on the website. Like I'll just put in garden green, and it said, oh, this is in garden green. There wasn't anything in pumpkin pie. So I went with the garden green, and I thought, oh, this has the gold. So these are the blooming pearls. I love these. And I think for one of them, we're going to put a blooming pearl on. And then the other one, I think I might do some ribbon. So put that right there. Okay, and then on this one, there is this white ribbon, I thought, but I might do the gold. Well, maybe I'll do the white. The gold is, I was going to do this gold trim, Simply Elegant trim, but I think it might be too small. Let's go with the ribbon. So this is the striped trim, iridescent striped trim. Let's see how this looks. You can put it through the hole. You should have done that before I put it on, but I'm just going to put it right on top of that. But I don't think this goes because it's more silvery. So let's go back to the trim. I thought I had one open. I guess I don't. Where do we begin? Let's try this. And you could put it around before you put it down. I wonder if I can get it in here. Let's see. Let's see if we like this. Tie a bow on camera. Always fun. Let's see. We'll just have to straighten it up. Actually, I like that. I just want to tighten it. Yeah, I think that's pretty. What do you think? And then maybe we'll put some bling on the other side. Right here. So they're a little bit different. One is a little a step up, they call it. Plain and then stepped up. So this is, oh, we have to do the inside. Well, we're going to do some more embossing. I have the extra one because I was going to use it for that. So let's put that aside. And there's some great sentiments in here. May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I'm using this one. I have that all mounted. And we are going to heat emboss both of them with the same sentiment. So we'll just stamp this in Versamark. Whoops, upside down, although it wouldn't matter. Can't see it. Hopefully it's gonna work, right? When you put the powder on, you'll know if you got it covered good. Oh, and I should have done this. Oh well, hopefully it'll be okay. Okay, let's work the magic here. So let's get this out. I guess I'm going to pour it. A lot of times I'll scoop it, but this is a big area. Beautiful. I'm going to just pour a little more on. And then get our paintbrush out. Now, if you were to accidentally wipe off parts that you didn't want to wipe off, you could just add more powder. So until you heat it and melt it, you can add more powder to it. So let's do the other one. Now this one I'm going to just scoop up. I should get a spoon. I used to do this before they came out with this thing. I would just do it on a spoon. You could do it on paper too. Fold a piece of paper in half and pour it over. You just want to be able to pour it back in. I feel like this is a little bit lighter. And maybe I didn't stamp it as good, but I think it'll come out okay. So we're just going to get these little areas clean. We'll see how that looks. It looks a little light to me. Okay, let's get our heat tool back out. Okay, and you saw that I flipped it over. Sometimes the heating of it, especially in a layer this big, it will warp it a little bit. So if you turn it over and heat it from the back, it will help melt it, and it will help keep it straight. So let's put these inside. You could put a little bit of paper underneath it, but these are so big that I don't think, you know, the sentiment really takes up a lot of space. I don't think you really need anything else. So let's put these down on the insides, and then we're done. And I think they're really pretty. It's a great way to, you know, showcase your designer series paper or your pattern paper. I always call it designer series. That's what Stampin' Up calls it, but you don't need to use Stampin' Up. You can use, you know, whatever pattern paper you have. Of course, I would love for you to use Stampin' Up. Let me just add a little bit more of this because it is a little warped. I've been just putting it in the corners, but I think this needs a little more. Our papers are really beautiful, and I love how they all coordinate. So that's the nice thing about it. Okay, isn't that pretty? Beautiful. So let's start this out with full full glue here. And I love the green with the gold. Okay. I feel like this needs the ribbon. I may add ribbon and then take this off. We'll see. You'll see if it's in the pictures this way. All right. Thanks so much. So this was from my August calendar here. Make a triangle card. Here was a tri-fold. We're making a triple. It's all threes. So next week is a triple layer card, and then a bay window and a triangle accordion pocket card. Ooh, that sounds difficult. So come on back next Friday and you'll see the triple layer card. If you want this calendar, you can just subscribe to my email list and you will receive it every month when I come out with a new calendar. And it just has different ideas that you can follow along with and play along. And I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.